Hey guys, it's Scott Dickenson here, physical therapist and founder of NecksLevel. Today we're going to be talking about neck stiffness. So what is stiffness? Stiffness is when we feel like we cannot turn our head into our full movement left or right, up and down feels limited, or even when you're bringing your ear towards your shoulder like this. So if you feel like your neck range of motion is limited, we're going to talk about the reasons that can happen from an anatomical standpoint, but then also 3 of my favorite exercises on the NecksLevel to help get rid of the stiffness. All right, let's get started. First, the causes of your neck stiffness. So we're going to break it down into 2 main buckets for simplicity. The first bucket would be your joints are stiff. One of the joints might not be moving like it should. So these are your facet joints. The facet joints allow the neck to move left and right, look up and down, side bend left and right, okay? So when one of these joints or a couple of these joints is locked up, that's gonna prevent the movement that we need to have normal neck motion. Now the facet joint pattern, if that is the limitation, you're gonna notice that one side feels stiffer than the other. Okay, so if one side is very limited and the other side feels more full, that's likely a facet joint that's causing some of your stiffness. Now, the other big bucket that we think about that could cause stiffness would be muscular tension. And then that is classically, the upper trapezius muscles here, the suboccipitals that are at the top of your head in the back. Those muscles, when they tighten up, they cause stiffness in all directions. So it won't be as clean of a pattern where one side is limited, the other side is full, like with the facet joint. With muscles, everything just gets tense. Your shoulders become elevated. Maybe you're feeling a headache or just tons of tension up in your upper back and neck. That is more muscular, and that will be more symmetrical in nature that you're feeling the stiffness. Now, as we all know, if you have stiffness, we would say, let's stretch it out. The problem with stretching it out, at least for neck pain, is that the majority of neck exercises are done sitting or standing. What does that have to do with anything? Well, if you're sitting or standing, gravity is working on your neck. It's pulling down that bowling ball on top of your neck, your head, which is 11 pounds. It's pushing that down into your neck. And so that is compressing all of the joints that we want to stretch out. Now, if one of those is already irritated, pushing down on it will not help. Right? So actually we'd want to exercise in a gravity eliminated position, lying down. So when you lie down, the joints and the muscles are able to relax, decompress, and stretch out much easier. So that's one of the main reasons that exercising and stretching out is so effective on the NecksLevel. It's because you go from a gravity compressed position to a gravity eliminated position when you lie down. So with that, let me show you some of my favorite exercises to do on the NecksLevel if you want to help with neck stiffness. Okay, exercise number 1. So I lie down, so that means gravity is automatically eliminated, so that's gonna help us out. I'm gonna put this glider into stretch mode, so I'll remove this resistance band from the glider, and then I would have my client just begin turning left and right and making the glider move. So what that does is stretch out the joints and the neck muscles with 0 compression forces from gravity. And so it's quite comfortable to move through whatever range of motion that you have that day. If I want a bonus stretch, I would simply push on the glider and get a few more degrees. So this is money. This is where it all begins if you're having neck stiffness. So for exercise number 2, we're actually gonna get the resistance system involved. So I'm gonna strap in level 1 yellow for this exercise. So we're gonna be doing what we call eccentrics. So if I lie down, get myself centered, I'm also gonna throw on the headband. The headband gives me grip so that my head doesn't slide during these exercises. Now this is awesome because it stretches your neck for you. So when I lift my head up and preload the resistance band, I'm gonna hold for a second and then I'm gonna let the glider stretch me, right? So the glider wants to turn back and move back to center. And so when I just let it win, that just gives me a stretch. When I'm ready, I can reset and then let it stretch me out again. Now for the third exercise, we're gonna go back to stretch mode. So we're gonna remove this resistance band. And we're gonna put the NecksLevel on an angle relative to how we're gonna lie down. So I want to go right ear to right shoulder. Now what that's gonna do is it'll stretch out the entire left side of my neck, especially the upper trapezius muscle. Now this goes much better than if you were in standing or sitting, because gravity's gonna be pulling on that muscle, and so you can't really relax. And you can probably even see all of these muscles getting stretched out. Those are the upper trapezius and the scalene groups that'll get the brunt of this exercise in the best way. It's a very relaxing feeling to be on the glider when there's no resistance. It's kind of like you're floating around in space or something. I hope this video was helpful. I hope that these give you 3 different ways that you can stretch out your neck effectively, and then also, you understand more so how your neck can actually get stiff. It could be the joints or the muscles, muscle tension that causes the issue.